Welcome to the DORKLAIR Collecting live stream. Today we are doing a Glyos episode. This is our third Glyos episode with my co-host Stef over here. What's going on, Stef?
Hey, how's it going?
And we got guest host Nate Baertsch with us today.
Hey, everybody.
And special guest Pat Bussey from BioMasters.
Howdy.
Stef, what's up? What's new?
Nothing much. Just buying a lot of toys, getting a lot of drops coming in finally. So unpacking, and my coffee table is just a mess. Putting stuff together.
Yeah,
a hard life,
messes.
you know.
I know them well.
Gotta keep the joys simple. That's what it's about. How about you?
Pretty good. You connected me with Gabe, and I had never seen the Spice Fleet from Knights of the Slice, and I was on the hunt, and you connected me with Gabe, and then he found somebody with them and immediately picked them up, and we did a trade. So I got all. There's 5 technically. I got all 5 of them from him, plus some other really cool stuff. I got my first Simaz from him.
We had that lockdown within a couple hours. You're like, do you ever see these? It's like, let me see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I was just kind of like doing, my, weekly, just like browsing through various Glyos lore and stuff, and like old figures, and I saw those, and I became immediately obsessed and had to grab them.
Yeah. Well,
you know what it was? It was their action figure of the Millennium was on that same body, and I really liked it, so I just started browsing that character. Yeah. So, Nate, what's up, man?
How are you guys doing?
Good.
Awesome.
You guys ready to buy a dragon? We'll talk about this later, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're gonna talk dragon. We're gonna hold off the dragon until towards the end because I know that the Legion ladies are still going now. So we'll kind of let them like. There's going to be people that come over from there later. So we'll save it.
They'll rate us.
They will.
Sorry, I didn't mean to just jump right into that.
No, it's
bad.
Well, it is a big topic. It's
how can you not?
big.
Yeah, very big. We like them big.
This box is going to be big.
That's what I can't imagine. I mean, just the 2-pack from Necro seems larger than average. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't open them but it's very big. So I was like,
I imagine it'll be the size of like the Necronominus all-in, like of one of the big all-ins.
Okay.
I imagine the box is going to be like that big.
Sure.
But maybe heavier if you kind of think about how much of that box is like packaging and cardboard and plastic like trays and stuff, and then there's figures inside there. Like the dragon's gonna be, I feel like a box that big with the dragon is gonna be even heavier.
That was a pretty hefty box too. That was awesome. Oh, I just knocked over all mine.
Oh,
Nice.
Someone got one.
It's right. You can't see it, but it's the whole.
Right, you get to look at it. That's beautiful.
I gotta have it. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Same time.
And this is the giveaway. So we're gonna give away a Maxilius and a Zoloid in the reverse Scarabite colorway. So that's gonna be one giveaway together. We'll get that going in a bit.
Awesome.
I've sorted most of my Necronominus away, but this guy, I have a hard time putting him away.
He's so good.
Yeah, so good.
Around here somewhere too.
I think Dave ordered like 3. I'm like, wait, we got 3. He's like, yeah, but I got to make 6 of them. I was like, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, that's right. Jeremy would support that.
And let's jump into the chat a little bit. Some people talking Zolocon. I know, Steph, you're going to Zolocon. We got Blake in the house. Brian Carr. My Schizoid Kingdom, Andy the Collector. Hey, look who it is, Steph. Mecha Rekka, Dave is here. I'm rocking the shirt. This is my preferred one. I love both of the shirts, but this is my favorite. It was first, and it's like more broken in now and stuff. Like this is my. Hank is here. Keith Holvin, Motu Guru, unboxing art. Reynolds Cruz is in the house.
Yes.
Maverick. There we go. It's an eye-catching thing. The stained glass looking Cthulhu back there.
I know. It's like the third person that said something about it. It's like you show them.
It is. Do you want to explain what it is really quick?
Sure. It's actually a like flocked beach towel, but I've never used it. And since it has like a heavy tapestry type of feel, I just hung it next to some of my toys for background.
Like velvety.
Yeah. It was with my new hair color. So
look at that.
You can do with it. Mm-hmm.
Soth is here. Trey Watson, Kirby.
Hey.
Whoops, Kirby. Lewis Christensen, Dusty, Emily.
Hi, Emily.
We've got Chris Collier, Jeremy Govier. Who else do we have? Pink Lemonade.
Hi, Monica.
Furious Figures. Everett. Nathan's Toy Nation. Jeff Franz. And Anthony, what is up? I'm
Hi,
sure
Anthony.
Anthony will be at Zolo. So possible Glyos Easter egg surprise at the Toy Forge table during ZoloCon weekend. Interesting.
Yeah, his son just made some toys. I'm going to pick some of them up.
Oh, interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
And Monica says hi.
Hi, Monica.
Chase Snyder's here. What's up?
What up?
That's cool.
All right. So, I did want to start us off.
Hi, Cappy.
Let's talk a little bit.
He just popped in.
I forgot to download the slideshow, so I got to pull that up. Hang on a second. Chat with the group, with the field. Cappy's here.
Are you surprised to see Nate, Pat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah.
I had to ask him.
Well, I'm glad he's here.
Yeah. He needs a break from work sometimes, just a little bit.
Don't tell Chris or George.
They're not watching, so it's okay.
Shouldn't you be drawing somewhere? Like, slaving away?
He's drawing right down
The
in
tablet is right here. So
See
if
that?
you're doing this.
The welcome pad is always within distance.
Awesome.
It's Chris's birthday, by the way.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday.
Woo!
He gets 49 spankings today on his road to 50.
It's road to 50. Now, Chris at the studio, he made it to 50, right? But he was in Japan at the time, I think, when it was his birthday.
50? No, he's on his road.
No, he's 49 today, and then it starts.
Oh my god!
This is why he's a madman, because he's been celebrating. He's been counting down to the road to 50, which starts at 49.
Dude, the secret is that he just always needs everybody to be welcoming about his birthday, so it's just like always fresh in people's minds. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is like him, myself, George, I think Jeremy, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We're
all on our road to 50 this same year.
Mm.
I was born in 76 as well, but at the end of the year. My birthday's at the end of the year. So it's weird because like Chris is like almost a year older. Same with Larry from my podcast. Like it's almost a year difference, but like
Yeah, I hit 49 this year too. So I will in August. Yeah. So
so I'm a year older than
him. I think I'm the youngest, but you're 76. I'm 77.
I'm a 75, but end of 5.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So Andy the Collector and I were born in the same month. Not even the same just the same month, but the same year and month. Okay.
Jesse, happy birthday. Someone Jesse Marshall, it's his birthday too. Or no, maybe not.
Oh.
So we're to 50? Is that
happy
his
birthday.
It's today too. Yep. Happy birthday.
Nice.
Sorry, Pat. This is Pat's show, really. I'm kind of an introvert.
A lot of very same age people. Okay, let's okay, so I wanted to just kind of like share some of the recent Glyos drops first, and then we'll talk Pat, we'll talk BioMasters. So this is the Wave 105 that's up now, and this was a big wave.
It was.
This is only 6 of I think 9 or 12 figures. It was like a
I
lot of
went
rows.
heavier than I should have.
Me too.
I ouched myself, but I love it. This wave is amazing.
It is.
Yeah, and it's a
I really
continuation
like
of the what was it? The black dark spiral.
I don't remember.
The black
What it was called.
hole.
Yeah, the black hole.
Homage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really like
I
those
kept it to
cartoons.
4 on
Uh-huh.
this. The two on the left and the 2 in the middle are the ones I got. I just kept it to.
Okay.
I with the dragon coming, I was being very,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
responsible.
I got like a bunch, one of each, but I didn't go with the big Johns. I don't know what they're called, but the big robots you can build that
Yeah.
I haven't seen
The bolt
before.
suits.
Yeah, I mean they look cool as anything, and I'm sure I'll see pictures, be like, I have to get that. So no. But-
This wave reminds me of when I started collecting Glyos at the very beginning. The colors.
Does it? The colors? Yeah.
And the bulk suits and the space suits, it just I went a little nuts on this one just because it's so good.
And, kind of reminds me of this guy here. Well,
Yeah, that
you
I
like
love
him?
that figure. Yeah,
Here, keep them up there. Let me just do this for a second. There you go.
yeah.
I
That's a
like
great
him.
one.
He has the tampos right there. Boom. But I like that suit. I like the bulkiness of it.
That wasn't the first release of that head, was it?
I think it was, yeah.
Was it first or second?
Yeah, it was early. I know that.
Tiny.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it
I've
done after
never seen that
right?
head actually.
Yeah, it's
The
Delphine.
The
The
Delphi.
Delphi. Yeah.
Delphi.
I love
That's
anything
pretty cool.
with spirals, so
Yeah, it's great.
that had to be mine. Thanks, Gabe.
Okay, so those are up now. All the stuff I have on the slideshow is currently available. So the Mighty Maniacs Wave 7. There's still, I think these might be the only 2 left from the wave specifically, but there's still a whole bunch of the Kickstarter stuff up there as well, like the full wave of the Kickstarter, and then a couple other individual like of those barbarians and stuff. But yeah, so Mighty Maniacs has some cool stuff, little Transformers homage on the left there with the Devastator
Yeah, those are incredible.
colors. Yeah. And then God Beast. So the one on the top,
Marty.
the Zoloid on the top is what we're giving away alongside Maxilius today.
That's
And then
gonna be
he's got a
fire.
couple, he's got the Scarabite, what are they called? The Raw Shark,
Yeah, the Rush Arc homage.
I forget what the,
Pilgrim, but I don't remember what the name of the build is.
Villages.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he had that previous drop that had the, like on the Calgrim on the right with the regular Scarabite colorway. He had that previously with some other figures. So like, it's a pretty cool colorway.
Yeah, I
And
had
then mix
bought
and
at
match.
SoloCon the same colorway, his Titan Mushis,
Mm-hmm.
the big vinyl pieces of. There's like 3 of them that I have, all of that exact colorway. So I was like, as soon as I saw it, I
Nice.
was like, that's awesome. I gotta get it.
Lewis knows what's up. in the
Lewis,
chat.
okay, let's follow
Yeah.
him then.
Those are Calvin.
Like a poor
Okay,
host.
they are
I know they're
Calgrim, okay.
Calgrims. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant
Dome
like the
Caliber?
specific
right?
name.
Dome
Huh?
Caliber.
Dome Caliber. Okay, yeah,
Okay.
Cappy's on it.
He's on it.
Cappy, you want to pop one? I'll leave. Nice.
And then
Oh,
Knights of
yeah.
the Slice. So these were the action figure of the Millennium drop. And then these are the extras from that. So these are available on, now to the public. And these are great. And there's a new head sculpt. I think there's 2 new head sculpts on there. So is it the Hyper Knight? Is that the one on the left?
I think so. I
yeah.
love how he has like the harness. He can put his 2 guns back there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have it right
I
here.
love when you can
actually.
hold the weapons. That's the best
Yeah.
part.
So let me put me up.
And it came packaged real nice too, as well.
And this, yeah. So yeah, he's got like the shoulder harness where you can put
Those
the
are
guns
great.
in there.
That's awesome.
Super cool.
Yeah, I don't have that one yet, but that's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
nice.
I love this. I fell in love with this. And then it's got this head here. Let me just pop it. That's the new head.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's a good one.
That is so cool.
Super cool.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't point to any specific robotics figure. Do you guys remember robotics? Does anyone
Yeah.
remember robotics?
Mhm. Yeah. From the 80s, right?
There you go.
Yeah, that's
This
awesome.
guy. It reminds
let me-
me of this
let me-
old guy. This was my buddy when I was a kid.
Oh,
He was-
There
yes.
you go. Yeah, nice.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember that figure. I mean, I never had one.
Yeah.
That
dude,
is
that's
awesome.
sick.
He was like, when I was a kid and I had all the Star Wars figures, like in my mind, that was me in Star Wars.
Right.
Awesome.
This guy's me. Yeah.
That's like one of the things I love about the Knights of the Slice is that they're
Very
that format. They're that they're
Mhm.
Star Wars figures, you know, essentially. Like, and so like having, like I said, that Picard looking one,
Yep.
right? Like having that in this
So
format,
good.
it's like having Star Trek figures in the Star Wars format.
Yeah.
And then onto your stuff.
Yeah.
Pat.
Woo!
Hey.
Yay!
Yes.
I gotta know the specific names if you don't mind mentioning them too. I'd love to hear them.
Okay, so the one on the left is the biomass mutant,
Mm-hmm.
and the one on the right is the biomass monster.
Oh, we didn't name them yet. You can just name them yourself, though, right?
You know,
Depending on what you build.
in my lore,
That's what
because they're monsters, most
Mhm.
of them just don't have names.
Okay.
Like if they're given names, they're usually given names by someone else, just calling them something.
Mhm.
So that's
Interesting.
sort of where the story starts. So, so yeah, a lot of times I don't get very fancy with the names. You know, this is like the vampire wave, is what I call.
Oh, well, I love your
Vampire
vampire
colors, yeah.
wave. Yeah. And you
So
did
these-
a certain colorway similar to this, not exact, but
Yeah.
just reminiscent of it long ago, right?
Pat, does this match the early like vampire hunter guy from the Battle Tribes?
Yes, originally we ran these at the same time. We just didn't put them out at the same time. So we ended up, they just kept getting bumped. And so we had them ever since Jeremy ran those Battle Tribes figures.
That's been a while.
Yes,
That's
it's been
a
a very
long
long,
time.
almost a year.
My goodness.
Yeah, so I'm excited that these finally came out because that colorway is amazing. It's such a good color. And the Battle Tribes figures are still up too, so you can go get those and mix and match. But the second I saw those, I was like, we need to run these. So
Very
and
cool.
we also Cappy and I, we also have the Phibian,
Mhm.
vampire Phibian.
Oh, I love them. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
hold on, let me put you up here.
yeah, because you need the little
Oh,
vampire
he's
Phibian in
boss.
that.
He's
And he's
so
got-
boss.
And he's got pants.
He does. He does. I like
One of
that.
The first mischievers with pants.
Yes.
So he's-
And then I'm gonna pull up is it the Blood Clan? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I'm not sure what he called his, but
Is it this?
that sounds
Hold on,
right.
Let me go here. That one?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the same colors. And I just stole those colors straight from Jeremy because they're
Oh,
good.
yes.
They
So
are so
good.
good.
Yep.
And then there's another one. This one
Yes,
here.
So these
Yeah.
are his newer. So, but this is. I'm still thinking of like when Jeremy first started Battle Tribes. One of
Yes.
the earliest. Okay,
He did one a long time ago.
that's
And
the
I
one
think
I have.
he added the metallic red on these. So it differentiates just a hair, but
Yep.
not by much. So I put all mine together. But yeah, those ones came out last year at around Halloween, I think. And we were supposed to do that and we didn't. So but they're here now. So
Very cool.
yeah.
Pat,
It's a-
do you want it? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I was just saying it's a good colorway. It's a fun one.
Very
Yeah, it's on
fun.
my list. It's on my list of things that I want to pick up. It's just like I need the budget for stuff.
I felt
Yeah.
this one.
It's a great color. Oh,
Oh,
hold
there
on.
you
Let
go.
me put you up. Let me put you up
okay.
here.
So big.
Yeah. Now this
Oh,
is
look
not
at
my.
What
This
a
is
great build.
Yeah, I took a
That
picture
is-
of it when I saw it at. It's not my build though. It's Pat's because you had this displayed like this, right?
Well,
I took-
that's interesting because the toy ended up in a movie.
Okay.
Really?
Yes,
Dude, look at this face.
and that was the build that the movie studio
Used.
did.
Oh, okay. That's wild.
So yeah, and they did that all by themselves. I sent them a couple
Yeah.
and said, okay, do what you want, and that's what they did, and it was awesome.
What movie is it?
Oh, what's the name of it? It was called
These all pop off. Pop
man,
everything off.
Invasion. It's got one of the Hemsworth brothers in it, but you know,
Okay.
it was like kind of a mid sci-fi movie, and they needed a generic monster to kind of hint at, you know, the later part of the story. And so the guy comes in and he trips on it and he picks it up and he shows it right into the camera. And so you know, get a couple seconds of the biomass monster, and it was
cool.
pretty amazing. So yeah.
Someone in the chat, look it up. The Hemsworth Invasion
That's what I'm
movie.
looking up there.
I think it's called Invasion. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
So let me get us back to this setup. And Pat, do you want to tell us about your journey a little bit? How you started in toys and got to Glyos and stuff?
Heck yeah. So it starts actually a little bit before getting into toys, but my buddy Josh Howard does comics, and so we would go to San Diego Comic Con every year, and you know, he had a booth. He has a comic called Dead at 17 at Image, and so we did that for years. And what I started doing is I brought this whole thing called the Monster Menu, and so I had a whole setup where it looked like a tablecloth and everything, and you had the little menu and the little bell you rung when you wanted to get your order, and it was an order sheet of monster parts. And so you would pick whatever you want, and then I would just draw you a custom monster.
Nice.
And so that's kind of where my idea started.
Yeah.
So I would just draw. I mean, like I would draw till I was cramping at those shows. You know, you just drawing. And so when I discovered Glyos, I was like, this is essentially my monster menu in toy form. And so I reached out to Matt with some ideas, the early ideas for the biomass monster. And I said, here's my idea, here's my pitch. And this is sort of what I've been doing, but I love toys. You know, I'm 80s toy kid, like most of us, you know.
Yeah.
And he said, that's a great idea. So that kind of started that process. And then I came across Marty's work, you know, Marty the God Beast, who you had on the show.
Yep.
I found he was sculpting these resin fly heads, and they're so awesome. They're still some of my favorite like things he's done. He did the bio jumper heads and the fly head, and so
the little spider head. Remember that one? Yeah. Those.
So what I didn't know, you know, so I reached out to Marty and I said, hey, look, this is what I have. Would you be interested in sculpting a couple figures for me? And so he said, yeah. So we started that process. But what I didn't know was that Matt and him were working on a figure in the background. I didn't know they even knew each other at the time.
Are you for real? That's
Yeah,
wild.
I didn't know them.
Sure.
Glyos was fairly new to me. You know, I started right about the Armivore time, and I remember trying to purchase one of the figures, and it sold out in seconds. And I was like, what the crap is this? Like, I was so mad. And so the second time, you know, I was there and I got some, and it was amazing. And that started my whole, you know, that started the whole domino falling for all of that. But
the first Armivore, that was also similarly colored to what just dropped.
I think it was
red with the white wolf head.
Yes, and I missed that away.
That's
nice. My first one was a glow in the dark one. I think that was from the second wave. So that was one of my first figures. And then I was able to get one of the infection red ones that Marty did.
That sounds nice.
And my fly head is an infection red resin fly head. So that started that off. So from there, I went down to meet Marty. Never met him before. So I drove to Kansas and spent the whole weekend with him.
Wow.
And he showed me how to cast. We spent the whole weekend together. And so Marty is Marty. So if you've never met Marty and you meet Marty for the first time, it's pretty awesome.
Yes.
But you all at his house, it's even more like
It's even more Marty.
It's even more Marty.
It was the most Marty.
It's like the Mecca of toys.
Yes. It was fascinating. And so we spent a good weekend together, and he showed me how to cast and taught me to do a bunch of stuff. And that was amazing. And, so that's really what kind of kicked off the whole thing.
I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second because we got another friend in the chat, Anthony.
Oh,
says, with the $5 super chat, thank you, says, Pat has become a good buddy of mine in Glyos community. It's one of the best communities to be a part of. Everyone is so welcome. Love you, Pat. And I just wanted to bring up another comment that I had queued up and I forgot to put up that he had posted. If I can find it, where did it go?
I'll give you $5.
He said something about he wants you to, he said you're a good strip tease is what he said. Something along those lines.
No,
that's some deep back Glyos shenanigans.
There you go.
So I've heard.
Leg right there. Yeah.
I think I'm guessing the Legions ladies
just got out.
Finished
They're
up
rating
because
us.
a bunch of people just popped in, like Glysa and
Can't find them.
Curtis.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
There's new Armivores sometimes that come out, right? I mean, there was a fairly new one. Marty put out the green one.
Yeah.
That's a 2-pack. That's the one that's a 2-pack though, right? So he's like looking for.
Now is a
looking
fantastic
to,
time to get Armivores. There are so many heads for the Armivore bodies now. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So good.
I put the whale head on one of mine. I don't know why. He just has like one little pincher that comes out. He's like this little short guy.
That's cool.
But isn't that the joy of it?
It is. Sometimes I'm like, this looks so dumb. But I'm like, no, you know what? That's just how simple I think, Yeah. You can just build monsters that you want to do. For me, at least.
Building monsters is the best.
It is the best. It's a joy in life. Yeah. But Pat, can I just interject real quick to ask you? So when you first started, did you just have like sketches and ideas that you formulated your concept of like, you know what, I really envision this world, and then that's where you started?
Yeah. So when I looked at I was already doing monsters, so I knew I wanted to do a monster, and so it was my design was similar to what we made, but Marty also put a little bit of a spin on it. Originally, he was more of a fleshy monster instead of like a bioorganic monster. And some of that stuff just happens naturally while you're doing the process.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I mean, I saw, we had spacemen. There were barbarians, spacemen, insect people, and I wanted to make monsters for them to fight. And
sure, they needed that. And this is very, very organic.
Yeah, and so there's a story for all of it, but they're basically like evil. Like there's a giant space demon who was ripped apart and contained in these technological prisons, and so over millions of years, they basically evolved into bioorganic creatures that are small, because they couldn't figure out how to destroy this thing. And so that's kind of the story, is where, all the biomass monsters are pretty much just evil offshoots of this big creature that they just blew apart, so yeah.
Cool.
My favorite colorway that you've done for the biomass monster has to be, it goes back to my He-Man roots of the Fright Zone monster.
Yes.
I love that thing. I don't have it close by to hold it up, but it's, to me, in my head, like that is the bio monster.
Well, that's funny because before the the real like technological stuff. That's how I picture him, more fleshy, like green, you know. But the fright zone is amazing. You know, I mean, it's right there.
You got it. I think.
Yeah. So,
I'm
but
jealous. I don't have one. I had one as a kid, but I don't currently have one.
Yeah, I need the glove though. I don't have the.
That's a grail right there. Yeah.
But you know, my toy's so weird. He doesn't translate one for one. So when I do those fun homages, it has to be something kind of weird.
Yeah.
We got away with that one and like a Plastic Man, which is great.
Yep.
Because Plastic Man can be anything.
Yep.
So
That is also a good one.
Yeah. So let's see, where were we at? So anyway, so Marty sculpted 2 figures for me. We put one into production, and the other one we costed it out, and it was too much the way it was. So we revisited that, and over the years, you know, that always stuck in the back of my mind. And so pieces of the mutant you'll see in the original sculpt Marty did. We kept certain parts of it, and then we, you know, trimmed the parts that were really expensive and kind of retooled the whole thing.
What are some of the things that make a part expensive, or like what makes it expensive?
So when I started, you know, obviously I knew nothing about molds or cost. You know, in Glyos, the female ports, because they have to have slide pins in the mold. And so those slide pins take up space in the mold. So they basically eat into the mold, you know, size.
Okay.
And so a biomass monster, as you can imagine, you know, comes from every angle. So,
and it's your biggest piece, isn't it? The center?
Yes. Yeah. And, you know, the factory said that was one of the most difficult pieces to figure out, because it was, you know, you got to hit it with everything, you know. And the mutant, the first mutant that was sculpted, was similar. It had a body that had a lot of holes. So, but I think after years of playing with the figures and knowing more about the factory, what we came up with for the, you know, the Mutant 2 essentially, I think is just it's a great improvement on the design. It's awesome, you know. So
I can't put a link in there.
Yeah, and we just slammed everything we wanted in there. You know, you got spacesuit, slime, you know,
tentacles.
You've got
bat wings or wings. I wouldn't call them bat wings. Yeah.
Well, and I sort of approach every figure that we do like, if this is the last thing we ever make, what do I want on it? You know, and so
right on.
We went for it, you know, and we did a lot. So, yeah, it was pretty awesome.
So Marty was like your sensei.
Yeah. Marty.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, when you do this, you can't do that. And
yeah,
Marty, I feel like
Marty's fantastic. We like to bust each other's chops.
He's amazing, man.
Marty is a good guy at heart, but you know, don't tell anybody, because we don't want to get bigger. So.
Nice.
Yeah, and then you know, a lot of people also don't know, but Cappy was involved from the very beginning. He was just like silently a part of BioMasters, but now that he's kind of come forward and has his own figures and stuff, you know, we talk about it more, because you know he's still doing stuff. We do almost all of the stuff together, so it's been an amazing ride, you know, and we've got more stuff coming. That's coming. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. There's going to be some fun stuff this year. So,
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Very
more evil things, or
no comment.
No. Oh man, I'm trying to pull something out.
No, here, okay.
How weird is it?
I'll show you one teaser piece.
Yes.
But it's just a teaser. But here,
okay. Sorry.
You can see it. It's a space glove.
It's a space glove.
Just a space glove fist. There you go. I know that's
I like that.
Super lame teaser, but that's all I wanted to.
I like it. I like when their hands are, you know, You can fit multiple things in them, and
Yeah.
they hold them well.
Yeah.
It's important.
So we've got some stuff coming, and it's going to be pretty exciting this year. This is going to be very fun.
It's awesome.
That's great. That is.
I never got a chance to meet Cappy yet, but I look forward to
awesome.
it. Apparently, he was at PowerCon when I was there one year, but
yeah,
he was. That would be cool. Nice.
Yeah, he's quiet. He likes to hide in the shadows, you know. But he's awesome, dude. So he's great to work with.
Lewis says there's at least one Brian Lord's colorway that we've seen that's yet to be released.
You know, at this point, because, you know, I get stuff so early and we do stuff so often, like, I don't know what's been out and what hasn't. We work, you know, so far ahead on some stuff that, like, I get confused. Like, I don't even know what I have around here that I can't even show.
Right,
it's like,
so that's not to say anything.
And you know, we're always working. You know, you're sort of working on the next thing before the other thing even comes out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I live a lot lately. You know, I don't even remember what colors I've shown or sold half the time, let alone anybody else. Even with
how many drops a year are you doing roughly?
In general, I try to do every other month, but that really hasn't panned out. I usually do one every 2 or 3 months.
Right.
You know, on average. But towards the end of the year, my day job gets in the way. So I have like a 3-month period where I sort of go into the void, and I'm just heads down in benefits books, you know, just putting stuff together. So it that kind of eats into a lot of it. And this year I did one drop in the middle of that and about killed me. So I don't want to do that again. So I have to work around those things and work around my kids. So
now you've been going to Legions Con, right? Or
yes,
no?
Legions Con is amazing.
And that's got to be right in that same time of the year, right? Or no?
It is, but it's kind of funny. Before I even got hired to this new job, that was like one of those things, the negotiation thing. I need this time.
Yeah.
You know, because I need to go do this. And they've you know, they know it's important. So like they carve out just
enough
for me to make it.
Just enough.
But I come back and I pay for it. I come back and
right.
You know, 16-hour day.
Wow.
Last year was my like perfect storm for Legions Con. Everything landed in the perfect place with the holiday was on the Monday. So like that was a day off, and I took Thursday, and I was able to take Thursday and Friday off. So I was there Wednesday night through Monday. Yeah. Like it was like and like it's not going to really happen again like that, I don't think, because of the way that weekend works and taking days off and the holiday and stuff. Because like I think the holiday's on a Tuesday this year, so it's like, you know, I could take 2 days off. Realistically, I don't think I could take 3. So that's going to place me in a smaller window than last year, this coming year. But, you know, I can just skip intern because like I've done that 2 years in a row now. So that might be a thing that I just don't do this year.
Yeah, that's something I want to add.
I would love to see some of the guys go to that.
Yeah, that's something I want to do. That'd be amazing. But
you'll enjoy it very much.
It's true. We don't have Glyos guys going to intern.
I've said that. I've said that a few times. Like it would be so fun to like.
It's not for lack of want. I
right.
I just, you know, like I said, I got that tiny window, and I've got to just in and out during that.
That's understandable. Yeah. Wow.
So, and we used to do San Diego Comic Con too. We didn't do that this year, but like that also eats up quite a bit of your vacation time, you know, because that's a solid week.
And that's like a lot more expensive too, hotel wise at least.
Yeah,
and
sure, definitely
flight wise too. But
yeah, everything for that show is just expensive.
Yeah,
but it's also amazing. So it's like the mecca of nerd, you know, It's great.
I
All
haven't
right,
been-
Keith is
Oh,
confirming
Encounter.
the movie is Encounter
Nice.
2018.
2018. So this guy was in. Is this what we're talking about?
Yeah.
The movie. Okay. Appeared in the movie. Okay, I'm gonna definitely check that out. Thanks, Keith.
Yeah. Awesome.
Now the chat just needs to tell us which streaming service can we find the movie Encounter on? Is it like a Netflix thing? Like, where can we
It's
find
on Amazon Prime.
Oh,
Okay.
then that's
You
easy.
know that.
Easy.
I couldn't
Amazon
remember the
Prime.
name, but yeah, it was on Amazon Prime.
I'm queuing
There you
that
go.
up right now.
Yeah.
Are you?
And I used to have the exact time that it comes up.
Oh,
but
it
I-
appears in like the frame
Yeah,
rate.
exactly the exact
'Cause
moment.
Good.
It's crazy to think that 2018 is freaking 7 years ago now.
Yeah,
Dude,
and
don't
that-
even
Right?
start
Like,
talking.
that's a long time ago at this
It
point.
makes me
It
feel
just-
so old.
I know.
Stupid COVID years, man, it messed all.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It
2019 is like last year still.
Like time warped and transported somewhere.
pretty wild.
No, but that would be great.
Let's get the giveaway going, and we'll get that
Yeah,
going
yeah,
in the
yeah.
background. So,
Keith says it's 12 minutes in, according to IMDb trivia.
Nice.
oh, it's on the IMDb trivia. Nice.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out.
With Luke
Fancy.
Hemsworth.
Luke
What, Nate?
Hemsworth.
Luke
Okay.
Hemsworth is the main star.
The main cheese.
Okay, I'm gonna put myself big for a second and just remind people here. This
Givey.
Maxilius, brand new
Woo!
Maxilius, plus the reverse Scarabite Zoloid from God Beast is going to be the giveaway. It's one thing together. And the hashtag is going to be Zolmax. Zoloid Maxilius is the hashtag. Let's just confirm that these are coming in.
Pat, have you talked to Gabe lately? He has gone head into Mythics big time.
Yeah.
I-
Yeah.
Every time I talk to him, like, or I get a text from him, he's like, I got this. I found this.
Yeah.
I'm like,
The last time we
wow.
talked, yeah,
He's
he was.
customizing everything. They're looking great too.
I
Some of the
haven't
stuff that
seen.
he's
I
doing.
haven't seen his custom stuff, but the
I
last
was
time we talked-
impressed because I
Yeah,
didn't expect that from him. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
looked really good.
Yeah. Gabe's funny. He's. You know, yeah.
He's an
I was
awesome guy.
Like, I think I'll just do a couple.
yeah. He's so nonchalant. You know,
He's
"Oh,
like-
good couple.
he's like
and then you turn
borderline
around, manic.
completionist now. Like he is.
He's
He's chasing everything.
everything.
That's crazy. I can't even do that. You know, like I have to really be careful because my I used to be that way, but there's just too much. There's too much.
Yeah.
You know, you can't.
That's I can't either. Even with legions, which is my number one thing that I collect. Like I cannot be complete. I just can't.
Is everybody here's legions their main deal or?
I mean, I would say, well, you do at your toy show, Bills. They talk about all different toys, right? But we're
Yeah.
all
So
sort
like
of
my
like
co-hosts,
Legion nerds.
like Chris and Larry, like
Uh-huh.
they're who are not here tonight, but like their main things are, I would say, Transformers is probably those guys' main things, and they have gotten me like fairly deep into Transformers, at least like G1 style modern retail stuff.
Yeah.
But like, yeah,
Like
for
Legacy
me,
and the Siege kind of stuff.
yeah, and the Studio 86 stuff like that. Yeah,
that's
those.
just great.
And but for me, like I'm at the point where like I love Legions so much that it's pretty much my main thing. And then Glyos has come in over the last 2 years, especially like the last 18 months, I think, like, and just has really like become my number 2 thing. And so there's not much, honestly, like the main thing is time. It's like, you know, money is one thing, space is another. I have no space, but like, it's really the
yeah.
time to like get something in, appreciate it, pop and swap. Like that's what I love. I love making my own creations, and you know, it's like I don't have time to paint always, so like the just like the inherent customizability of both Legions and Glyos, it's just very appealing to me. So those have really become my 2.
That's why I lost myself when they announced that a fusion of a collaboration between the two. I don't even want to speculate, but yeah, it's exciting to me.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, the possibilities. I was just like
Nate.
I want to see them go the other way too, and have a Glyos, like do what they originally intended, and have like a special Glyos release that's like
right.
I don't know, like what like Gorgo Etherblade as a Glyos figure, right? Like
awesome.
Go both ways with it. That would be so cool.
Yeah, that would be very cool.
So cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's your main thing, Nate? What's your main?
I don't even know anymore. It's
who am I?
Who is Nate anyway? Nate's their body.
Is it plastic and artistically done well? Then I'm collecting it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been surprisingly getting a lot more Transformers.
Yeah.
Have you? Wow, that's awesome.
I love the Studio Series 86 stuff. That Optimus Prime is phenomenal.
Yeah, and that was on my top 10 list. That was my number 1 this year.
Yeah. But like my main, I would say that Legions, like the stuff that we do, is probably got the biggest between that and Lego. Like, my 2 properties, if I had to go to 2, it's always been Star Wars and Masters of the Universe. Like those are my. I see Pat, your Snake Mountain. Mine is just like
and
facing the other way.
Eternia and Grayskull are just
I seen them
there.
Yeah, like, but like as far as Masters go, I've said this for a few years now that my favorite Masters to collect are the ones that we do. The homages.
Tributes, yeah,
they're pretty amazing.
But it's Star Wars stuff I still grab, but I've honestly like stuff that I'm really going after, and it's stupid because I'm doing it now and I should have done this 20 years ago, which is get the old Kenner stuff.
Yeah.
I've gotten
you know what? I think now, like compared to 5 years ago, I bet now is probably almost a better time because
a little bit for some things. There are some people that are hanging on to higher prices for ridiculous things, but and I've got most of what I need for my Kenner collection. I'll never be complete on it, but because I refuse to pay. Okay, I have confession time. I have paid hundreds of dollars.
What did you pay hundreds for?
Warrock.
Okay.
Warrock was, and because he's one of the last 15 or last 17 or whatever. He's kind of one of those guys.
Yeah.
I've been able to piece together the other Ewoks at a decent price. I just gave up on trying to get a complete one.
Right.
Like, okay, I can get the hood later, or I can get the weapon later, or whatever it is. So, I mean, I'll collect them that way. One of the holes I fell into was the Ewok village itself.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah, I picked one up.
Sweet.
It wasn't complete, and so I love going back and completing some of the play sets and stuff, just piece by piece, if I can find it, if I can grab it. And I'm pretty. It spreads it out that way. It makes it fun for me that way.
Yeah, it's a hunt. Do you try to do it at cons or online?
Sometimes online.
I have a weakness of like live auctions. I'm not going to patronize any sites, but it's pretty bad. You know, if I'm up late at night and like someone's going through their collection, I'm like, oh snap!
Yeah,
it's like soft goods or whatever.
Later at night, I would make even bad decisions.
Worst decisions.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll bundle. Will you give it to me for this? Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm just trying to get rid of it. Okay.
That's like having my prep. I have so at my work day, I have my 3 classes. We do like 80-minute periods. I have my 3 classes, and then my last block of the day is my prep now, and I'm just freaking exhausted, and I cannot be effective at all. I'm just a complete mess by then. But yeah, end of day decision making is not.
When I'm done with my Kenner stuff, I can already see myself slipping into the Mattel Battlestar Galactica. Old stuff.
Yes.
Those were my first figures, the Ovian and Muffet. Those were like the two first figures I remember owning.
What is
shortly after.
what is the four-armed guy's name? The
Ovian.
That I had that as a kid, didn't know what it was from.
Yep.
And I just recently purchased that at one of the shows, and I just love that figure outside of the show just because it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I got a complete one with the net and everything. Like,
Nice.
oh, it's awesome. Love that.
Yeah,
figure.
it's an incredible figure. Like even today, you look at it and it's like, this thing is nuts.
Yeah, it's great.
It's just nuts.
Yeah, I've stopped kind of collecting like full lines, but I just grab the pieces that I love from all kinds of different lines. You know, so like
do the same.
Computer Warriors, you know, a lot of 80s stuff. You know, I just love bits and pieces of all those. You know, the bad guys from Centurions. You know, the Battlestar Galactica guys that I had as a kid, even though I didn't know what they were from. You know,
same. We collect similar. I have one Supernatural, and it's the one I had as a kid.
Yeah,
I don't need others. I just have the one that I had as a kid, and I'm good.
Yeah. I found a really nice one recently, and I just picked it up, and I don't even remember which one it is, but it's in my little glass case there. And I got one of my first like Kenner figures as an adult. I got Bib Fortuna with all of this stuff the other day, and just found him for a reasonable price. And was like, I just want him, so I just snagged him.
Yeah, he's a good one to have.
Yeah, he's like my favorite. So,
very cool.
I don't know why. I'm just drawn to the weirdos.
Those are the funnest ones.
Same.
And that's like the best. Yeah, the best Star Wars figures are. It's always been that way.
Yeah, people are boring.
They are so boring.
Then the other day, our comic store had a sale on Star Trek figures. Right.
Oh.
Nice.
And basically, it was like buy one get two free. So I basically got 30 figures for the price of like, I think it was like $30, and I just went nuts.
Sweet.
I have so many of them to open. I'm just
my God.
stacks of them over here. So, and I'm super excited because that Playmates line is
creatures are the coolest, man.
It's cool, yeah. I was dabbling in it a little bit, and like there was a point where every one I opened was like sticky, and it was like they were seeping, and I just was like turned off by it.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
like the old plastic, it's like it starts to like break down,
Depending on where they're kept and how it's kept, it can break down.
Yeah, I'm lucky I haven't really come across that with those, but I did pick up the Mad Scientist Dissect an Alien, recently, and that thing is just like you touch it and it's just like it's an amazing toy, but it's just sticky beyond belief,
All right, here's a good Glyos question. I've been interested in Glyos, but I am intimidated by having so many companies and artists. Suggestions?
Just find one you like. Just start with one. Get it, play with it for a little bit and see what you think. Because most of us, that's how we started.
Mm-hmm.
We just found one thing we liked, and then the wheels fell off, and now I spend all my money on it. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'm going to pull up a page.
Yeah, I was trying to post links, but I couldn't.
I'm going to pull up a page here. Let me see if this will work.
I think Matt's site's also good for that because
I was going to suggest that.
Links. Yeah.
So one good place to like kind of, if you're looking to buy a figure right now and to kind of see what's out there, is the available page on the wiki.
Yeah.
So the available page
That's what I was going to bring up earlier.
Updates. I don't know if somebody's updating this or if it's like automated in some way, but like it
those
just
are new.
Yeah, this is the newest stuff. So it's like it's pretty like up to date where it's like the stuff that's in stock, and it'll I think it keeps the most recent drop at the top. So, you have that. These are the O'Neill figures we were looking at earlier. Mm-hmm. And then the more recent, so the next most recent one was the Mighty Maniacs drop. And it's like, it's just the stuff in stock. Like even the stuff that's already out of stock is like pulled down from it.
Or you just become friends with Everett Miller
Ever
Right.
familiar.
And you yeah.
And he
Ever
will
familiar in the
message you every
chat.
time there's a drop.
But the thing with this is like at any point you go in here and you can just see what's in stock at all these different places.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Everett.
Yeah, it's
you,
pretty
Everett.
cool. And this is a great way to just kind of like go and browse and see like what's available right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. Now some of them don't update, like, because since Toy Pizza doesn't do like drops really, like it's mostly the
But this page is good for like just the whole collective together to see
just to
what
see
has
what's
been
out
done
right now
and what's coming too.
Yeah, this is all just what's like. You can go buy these right now. I love these. I think
You
I have
do?
almost all the
Did you?
restructures
Yeah.
of all the most recent drops.
Those are so.
That is one of the best colorways.
It's
That
so
yellow
cool.
really pops.
I love
Is
that
it just because
It's
so
one of those
primary?
things that like I don't think, having seen it, like just looking online, I don't think
they're
it
too
was
tall.
like super appealing to me. But then when I saw them in hand at Legion's
They're like
Con,
solid and chunky.
it
they're
just
just-
yeah it just
they
pulled
snap
me right
together.
in.
I don't think
Um,
enough can be said about the artistry that goes into the color picking
Yeah.
for these plastics. Like
For sure.
the colors grab me so much more than anything else. Because
Mhm.
especially if you're collecting Glyos, you already know what the figure is.
Yep.
Like if you've been collecting, if you're just getting into it, you need to get a few to kind of get a feel for what it is. But once you kind of know what the figure is, then at that point it's the colors are the thing that
colors,
really
yeah.
speak to you.
Mhm.
And so,
And-
like, for somebody just looking to like dip their toes, I would say, like look for something you like. Like if you remember Manglor's, like,
Oh, those.
Toyfinity, and start there, and then like wait for their drops, and like, and just kind of like start with either one, build or one company or something, and just kind of like focus on that. If you like the kind of like Masters of the Universe style bodies, right? Like the Warlords of War. If you like the monsters, BioMasters. If also monsters and kind of like different kind of creatures, God Beast, right? Like just kind of depends on your interests. These feel very retro. The Mighty Maniacs. It's got a very retro kind of feel to it, So yeah. That's a great page. I would bookmark that page if you're just looking to browse like what's in stock right now.
I was
Absolutely.
trying to post. Yeah, it's so cool. And I love seeing the concept, like drawings and well, I guess you would say like the initial release. You sometimes will hire a separate like comic artist or something
Yeah.
to do some of the designs. I like that a lot. It's fun.
Well, like
I mean, I started to get like lost in it and I start reading it. Whether you don't even have to read it to understand like where the story's going with it, and it kind of gives you a fun idea of like how you want to play with them when you get them. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and all of us, almost every one of us that designed this stuff, we have a story. And you guys probably see about 2% of what the story really is. Like, I know I have literally been on the phone with Matt, Dowdy at Onell Design for, we will start a call in the evening, and I will literally get off in time to walk into work the next morning.
Wow.
Oh my
And
God.
it will just be talking story, and that is amazing.
Yeah.
But just
Yeah,
the little
that's-
tease that you give leaves it up to interpretation, which I find beautiful about it, to the person that buys it. It gets that imagination going. And
Well, that's the best part about this
Yeah.
line is, we have kind of like a story, but we leave everybody enough room to make their own stories
Yeah.
in that universe, in that world. And of course, you just make up your own stuff. If you don't
Yeah.
care about that, you just make your own guy.
Yeah.
What
Totally.
toy line allows you to rip it apart and make it your own? And there's not very many.
Nope.
No, it's very few.
I have a giant bowl at my office just filled with Glyos parts.
Yeah.
And so all day long, while I'm just doing my day job,
Mhm.
I'm fiddling with stuff. I'm either working on a drop we're, coming up with, like thinking about a build, or just having fun. And that to me is the exciting part, because I'll tweak it, and then I'll come back to it a couple days later and I'll tweak it a little bit more. And then by the time I'm done, I'm like, man, this is really good.
Nice.
That's like, that came up the other day. I was chatting with somebody and they were saying to me, so one thing I do when I do my Mythic Legions reviews is I'll do a pop and swap with the figure that I'm reviewing as part of my review. And I'll have that on the turntable and I'll show, or sometimes I'll do multiple of those. And somebody said, you should do a video where you are doing a pop and swap live, essentially, and you're walking people through your thought process of the pop and swap, which is, it's possible, but like you were talking about, like I will start messing with some stuff and some parts, and then I'll put it down for a day or two, or, I'll be, called away for something, and it's just like put it aside for a little while. And it's like, it's oftentimes days or hours, or, it's a long process often to get like a really good idea going. And so like, that's why that video style like doesn't work. I've tried it and it doesn't really work for me because the product is never really great.
Yeah.
And unless I were to like do my usual just organic process and then break it down and then like pretend it through like a, like mock, like through thought process or whatever. But
yeah, one of my favorite things is you just get a box of you kind of have to collect it over time. Or what's nice about, and we've talked about it before on this show, of how a lot of times the releases will have the same colors in them.
Yes.
If you were really drawn to a certain colorway, try to collect as much of that
as much as you can. Yeah.
As much as your budget allows in your wallet. You don't need to break the bank or anything, but especially knowing too that many of these colorways are going to get re-released in the future also.
Yeah.
But what's fun is that when you have just a massive, from the various different artists, even just throw it all in a box together and literally undo everything.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then
That's
just
exactly what I have done, Nate. It's so much fun when I link something new to something old. I'm just like, yes.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, your mileage may vary on how you work personally. Like maybe you want a lot of creativity can come from a very little bit amount of stuff.
Yep.
It can. But the more you grow that, you can really start to explore. I did that with the glow in the dark Hades, the black and the glow in the dark stuff with the teal accents. That's like one of my favorite colorways.
Good colorway.
Mine too.
And I just did that. And that's how I created my whole band of bounty hunter guys. Like they all have to have a cloth good of some kind. They all have to have a glowing weapon of some kind. And
I haven't seen a lot of the soft ones. Right. These ones here or this ones?
Mm-hmm. Same. Yeah. Those guys.
That's cool. You got soft goods for them?
Kind of. I mean, as much as Glyos and Matt and those guys have played with, I mean, it's kind of like early Mythic Legions days where it was just a cut piece of fabric.
Yeah.
But that works. It totally just works.
Yep.
And then I would find other pieces of fabric that I would just dye black and cut it up and do something fun with.
Yeah.
This vinyl kimono.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
It's super cool.
The
way it like shapes, like I mean, it's a flat piece.
It reads well.
It's a 2-layered flat piece essentially. Yeah. But then when you put it on the figure, it like folds out into this.
Yeah, that's
awesome
pretty
shape.
amazing. That's awesome.
That's really good.
Yeah. Well, and he did what was the name of the one he did that had the full cloth jumpsuit that was kind of a little bit of an homage to the old Spiral Zones back in the day.
That might have been before I was collecting them.
That figure is one of my all-time favorites. He actually like had a full sewn suit and the armor over the top of it.
Ooh, that's
Yes.
nice. Like
And
that.
just gorgeous figure.
Yeah.
Amazing figure. But the thing that's neat is when you take those pieces apart, like I consider myself like a medium builder. Like I make simple guys, but then you see guys like Mechanoid and like some of the people on there, my brain just breaks.
Yeah.
So when I design pieces,
So good.
I just try to design crazy stuff, and then I wait to see what they do with it. Because
my Instagram, I follow him, and I have a whole like saved gallery that's just Glyos builds. That's full of his stuff.
Insane. Yeah, it's really good.
Well, there's so many great builders out there, and I just look at it, and I'm like, how?
Right? It's just
But I
complete
think
upside down perspective.
Yeah,
in a
bucket
different way.
mentality. You take all the pieces apart and you go, okay.
I did my first. Let me see if I can pull it up. I did my first like large build when that Dark Vortex first wave. So I guess it would be wave 104. That dark red, the Maximilian dark red.
Such a great color.
I bought a lot of that color because it's just a sweet color. And so then I bought a lot of, so that my idea was to buy doubles of things so that I had like some symmetry. And it's not the greatest build, but it's a pretty large build. So let me
Let's see it.
Hold on a second. I just need to hold on.
Jealous of Nate's Hades collection. Yeah, I
Did you
would probably
look
be
it up?
too.
I have it somewhere
Do you?
on Instagram. I think I posted it somewhere. I don't know if it's still up. I archive a lot of stuff too. I don't know why.
All right.
I get
was able to
self-conscious about how many toys I post at once. Stupid. That's stupid.
Yeah, me too. I know. If it brings you joy. What?
Oh yeah, that's a
Yeah,
fun
that's
one.
dope.
That is phenomenal.
That is nice. So I like that.
And it's like, it's not the most stable build, but I'm like proud of it because it was like my first very large build with like a lot of different pieces, you know, and that I just love that silver and that color red.
Yeah.
That looks gorgeous.
I love the torso there. That's just pretty unique. I like that.
We need to throw that in the AI animate a toy.
Yes. What it comes up.
These days.
I can't even imagine how this thing would move.
I know. I would love to see what AI thought it would move like.
Somebody,
I never thought to do that. That would probably be neat on some of my
somebody
strange.
put the Gazer Beast, you know, stuff that Cappy did, and it was basically pooping out eyeballs. AI thought that thing just crapped out eyeballs.
Eyeballs.
It was the funniest, but it was also amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's what he does. It's fascinating.
So good.
Yeah.
I'll have to try that.
Oh.
All right.
AI.
So David
So again,
Williams did a beautiful piece of fan art over here. Can we even call it fan art anymore now that he's working for the Horsemen? But I could see this being the
That looks
pin.
pretty official to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure George is reaching out and saying, "Hey, we need to make a pin of this."
Yeah.
That is awesome.
He did it. He did the line art, I think yesterday or the day before, and then whatever. I think probably whatever the day was that they like officially announced the date of the dragon, and then today, literally right before the show, he posted this. It's so good.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I want that on a T-shirt, actually.
Yeah, that'd be fire.
Ultimately, I think that needs to be on a T-shirt.
Agreed.
Oh yeah, that's perfect T-shirt material right there.
Definitely, you could do some nice half tones.
Nice and big. Yeah.
Yeah.
A pin would get dumbed down, I think.
Yeah, because you couldn't create the halftones in a pin, right? Like you could on a shirt.
A giant pin.
I'm surprised at how much they can cram into those pins, though. Some of
they have been looking real good.
So I thought they were gonna have to get rid of some of the little details in the dungeon map DORKLAIR pin. And they look and it's really pretty small. It's like a 1-inch square pin. Like it's a small pin.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Anyway.
Good job, David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Job,
awesome
Dave.
work.
Yeah. Cool.
So Order of Baertsch rises. So this is a week from tomorrow. So that would be the 7th, right? Friday would be the 7th, right?
Yeah. Just enough time to sell a kidney.
I'll tell you what. The day they announced the dragon, I immediately was on a mission to just save. I even was calling it my toy diet. Like it goes past paying for the dragon. This is like making room for the dragon.
Sure.
This is about making sure that I'm almost bored to death by the time that a dragon arrives. because I want it to be like this thing
Ready
I'm like
for it.
starving for. You know?
Dude, I think I saw one guy today. He was like, I need to know the exact dimensions. I'm like building this shelf and this whole like rearrangement in his house.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You're either hanging it from a ceiling or
Ceiling.
it's on a piece of furniture.
Sure,
Like,
exactly.
I don't think you have a shelf that would hold it.
Hold that,
I'm
right?
kicking my dog out of his dog bed because that's about
Right.
as big as it is. He's like, nope, you're out. This is where the dragon goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so let's see. There's a lot of information. One, it's gonna run for a month. So I guess it'll end on April 7th or April 6th or something like that. So this is going to be a campaign that runs 1 month. This is going to be multifaceted thing. So the main core item is going to be the dragon itself that like with the more closed wings without the flames, like the regular dragon for $550, which I think falls in line with what a lot of people were predicting.
I was expecting that. Yeah.
I had said 500 to 600 was my range. So it's pretty much right in what I was thinking. Thoughts on the price?
That falls about where I was expecting. I thought it'd be a little bit more actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. Because I work remotely, I'm not in all of the conversations that talk about this stuff, but it's something that strikes me, just like remove myself from being an employee for Four Horsemen Studios. I'll never forget, and I've mentioned this in another place before. When you look at the dragon and you think, man, you could charge like 700 or 800 for this thing.
Yeah.
And some people were guessing that. But at the same time, the guys are like, that's stupid. We don't want to do that to our fans in any way, shape, or form. I remember when the horses were being, I was out there for one of the early G-Cons, if not the first G-Con, maybe. It was when the horses, Athon and
Glyos.
was being produced. I remember sitting with Eric and CB at the table, and we were just casually talking, and they were actually kind of making the decision on how much the horses should cost. CB had the sheet from the factory, and it's like, he didn't show me that sheet. I didn't know, but he just asked me point blank, and I'm like, my mom collects those like Breyer horses that have the saddles and all that stuff, like the big deluxe fancy ones, which is kind of what Glyos would be.
Right.
Like, those are easy $100 or more.
Easy.
And I'm like, you could probably charge that, but I'll never forget from the top of the company, these two guys that are just like, no, that's not what we're going to charge. I think he had ended up charging what, 55 at the time.
55. And still, you can go on their site right now. I mean, that's 6 years ago. You can go on their site right now and buy Boreas, who's even more deluxe than Glyos because he's got swap out parts for 55 right now.
Which is crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Like anywhere else,
good.
any other company is going to charge. So like you could easily charge $100 for Bishop. What we got for Bishop.
Yeah.
Man.
And it seems like they're putting
Holy
a lot
cow,
more in the
Bishop is-
tack, like the leather tack that's on the horses too, are getting more elaborate, with the unicorn and stuff like that.
Well, there's no
rising beast.
There's
Off
no other
goods.
toy line has this amount of paint and
Detail.
that quality and detail for the price. Like there's not. It's I don't know how they do it. It's amazing. And
It really is. Yeah.
yeah, it's and
It blows me away, and I work for these guys.
And we're not drinking Kool-Aid here. If we see it in person, it's
Right.
will blow your mind. It's like, I think everybody's jaw just dropped when they saw it in person,
Yeah, and pictures
Beautiful.
don't do any of their stuff justice. Even with as wonderful as like the photos are that people show,
I'm waiting for Brad's video of this.
it's insane.
I want to see.
Because like when you're looking at a picture, you're kind of looking at the whole thing.
Yeah.
But when you have a figure in hand, you're looking at individual parts and you're like, this is painted top to bottom. Like I got an early look at the military at ATL 25, thanks to Van Johnson and in Jordan, and like the thing is, it's the paint work. There's so much paint and so many paint hits, and it's like top to bottom fully painted. Like, and it's got a ton of accessories, and they're all painted like multi apps too, and it's a regular price figure. It feels like a deluxe figure. Like another one is that Enoch that's coming out, and if Curtis is still here, he'll preach all day about Enoch, but that figure, it looks like an $80 figure. Like these, Gideon, it looks like a Mezco. Like it looks like a 112 collective figure now. Like the way they're doing cloth goods, all the details, like everything is super tiny and sharp, and like it's just it really is super impressive.
A gorgeous figure. I mean, like just stunning.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, let me pull you.
There
he is.
I haven't seen him.
Lighting and everything, it just doesn't do him justice. But like,
you don't have to. I mean, you can see that's real like leather belts around there. It's not like plastic fofo.
The eagle.
Oh my god!
Like the eagles.
Yeah.
So good.
Yep.
Yeah. There are so many things on that figure that you just stare at, all the details, and that figure's amazing. This whole wave, like I can't really pick a favorite.
A favorite? I was going to ask you which one was your favorite.
I mean, I waffle every time I look. I go, this one's my favorite. No, there's not a dud in that entire wave. No, like I needed every single one of them, and that's I think the first time where I was like, I need everybody.
Yeah,
this is so amazing.
All right, let's go back to the dragon here. So people are asking about stretch goals, and there's going to be a couple things. So first of all, when they revealed the dragon, they showed the accessory set, which was alternate head, an extension of the neck to give it a different position, big flame effects. It also had the wings that are extended. And apparently what's going to happen is that's not going to be an individual accessory set. It's going to be like an a la carte thing. And then each of those are add-on pieces that you buy extra. Each of those is going to have its own funding goal. And so like it's, those will be a la carte things. So you don't have to necessarily buy everything. I'm wondering if they're going to have a bundle. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But that's one. Yeah, they usually do have like an all-in option that's like save some money. And then, so those are separately purchased items. And then they're going to have stretch goals that are going to be things that that 2,000 is the minimum that needs to be ordered. Right. Which I think is pretty 2,000 units, right? 2,000 units. When you look at HasLabs and these other things and they're like 10,000 and whatever, obviously those are big, G.I. Joe and properties, but like even with Legions, 2,000 felt like, okay, that's totally doable. You know what I mean? Like that, like in it, there's that
it's just 30
balance
days,
between that smaller number and then like the pricing, right? Like there's that give and take. And like Pat, you like must be intimately familiar with, like production quantity and scaling up and how that affects price, right? Like,
yeah.
So applying that to the dragon, like it seems like a pretty good balance to me, especially if, you get to like, I think this thing could hit like 5,000 potentially. It might not hit that.
I think we're gonna be pleasantly surprised.
But I think it could, and like at that point you might be looking at a bunch of extra stuff that it comes with, and then that 550 is you start to see that in a different light,
I see. So the more people that make this, sign up for the sale, you're saying that there's going to be more pieces just added to the whole package.
Well, we now know that there's an Order of Baertsch, another faction, right? So you had the Sect of Oresius, And I wasn't making the connection that Arisius was the name of another dragon until I saw the Order of Baertsch. And then it was like, occurred to me, okay. And then I went back to look at the Sect of Arisius, because going into it, I was like, okay, they're going to have some more Sect of Arisius cult figures to come with this as add-ons or stretch goals, like that priest that comes with the little mini dragon in the Reign of the Beasts wave. I was like, oh, they'll come it'll come with somebody from that sect. Like Rhaegor is now in that sect, right? Or in that like legion. But then it didn't occur to me that was a different like group. Like this is Baertsch and this is a different thing. So, theories about a Rhaegor 2, I think, go out the window when you reframe your mind into this. It's like totally different faction.
It's the beast
totally
faction.
Different continent, theoretically, right? So, wow, this is some bold numbers.
I'm sure 8,000.
Yeah.
All right, let's start the gamble. Who's got the wager?
We'd be so happy. I don't know if the warehouse is big enough, though.
Dude,
right? Oh my God, they might be afraid of it. 12,000.
Wow.
I'm sure we would happily figure out that problem, but yeah. Man.
Well, it would. You know how like Super 7 had those big ones where they just couldn't fit them all. They had to send them in waves, and then they got there and shipped them out, and then the next wave would come in and they got them and shipped them out.
Yeah. Any of the big stuff that they've done, I'm sure, has been that way. Yeah.
That's intense.
Very.
It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what other things they said, because there was the main post, and then there was like Jeremy answering questions. I'm trying to think if there was any other things that he mentioned.
I'm just genuinely looking forward to his show on it that he's going to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I forget the date, but I think it's the week after next.
Yeah.
Like the week after, after the drop.
Yeah, it's the week after the drop. So
yeah, I guess it couldn't be next week, because that would be before, because that next Wednesday is like the 5th, right?
Yeah. I feel bad for being here again because I can't say anything.
Right? Yeah.
We really.
Yeah.
I could answer some questions.
You're anonymous. You're just hanging out.
Well, we'll bring you back on once it's revealed, and then you can talk.
Thanks, Nate.
I want to keep my job.
I can't wait to talk.
I want you to keep your job too.
I can't wait to talk about it after we see all of it, because it's I can't wait. It's already an amazing toy, and like I said, seeing it in person at Legion's Con, it's not the same.
No, especially this piece.
You can see a picture of it standing next to a guy and see the scale, and it still is.
Dude, it's insane.
Nope, it doesn't do it.
The paint on it, everything. It's amazing.
My favorite is that picture of Jeremy holding the test shot.
I've seen that one.
You posted that the other day, right?
I didn't post it. Someone else posted it, but I did. Okay. I commented on it. Right click save for reasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know I like to put studio members on boxes, so right click save.
That's great.
The Freak says, my prediction for an additional item are the charged skeletons. Oh yeah, I would imagine.
Yes,
they're gonna get those in there somehow. Somebody was talking about like, okay, like what do some of these HasLabs come with? They often come with like 2 or 3 figures, so multiple figures is definitely like a possibility here.
Yeah.
We are a company that makes action figures.
Yeah. They could potentially have like other items, like either charred up on the battlefield, or I don't know. You never know what they could come up with. Like because they've been doing a lot of little mini, like little diorama pieces, especially with the figura obscura and the cosmic and stuff. So could
a lot
be something
of people
like
are,
that.
As we were talking before, like how to prepare for the shelf space. Like I'm looking at, I have you can't see it, and I'm not going to turn the camera because it's a mess over here, but I have a pretty standard like display shelf piece here that's pretty. There's probably 2.5 feet from the ceiling, and it's probably a little over a foot deep. He could sit on. I think the dragon would fit beautifully just right there, like in a scene with some characters and some elements there. Even with his wings spread out, and with the long neck and the big long fire piece, I think. But yeah, the challenge I think will be for most people. It's like setting that up. Where are you going to do it? And get thinking about it and have fun with it.
Yeah.
Sure.
My plan. You guys can't see me now because there's the thing over me, but I have
You put me on the bottom.
I have my and you still can't see behind me, but I have my Razor Crest on a hutch, essentially, like a low, like piece of furniture that's probably, I don't know, 3 feet by 2 feet, like a flat surface about waist high. And I think what I could do is I honestly think the Razor Crest can get a smaller footprint if I take one of the wings off, or the big engines off of it, and I put it on a shelf, like put that back up against the wall. So I'm pretty sure I can move the Razor Crest and then put the dragon there. Is pretty much my plan right now. Barring that, I would maybe buy some other piece of furniture.
I think it's just going to sit right on my new coffee table. It's like one of the things that you pull out to like eat or draw on, by your couch.
It's just going to sit in my lap.
It's going to sit right there.
Yeah.
Well, one of my kids is about to turn 18, so I'm going to have to boot him so that now I have a whole room.
Time to go. There you go.
Sorry,
Easy
peasy.
Yeah.
I've got this space where my snake mountain is precariously perched on top of the DTOF.
Yes.
So I'm sure I can put the dragon on there somewhere, balanced real carefully.
Yeah.
I'm still playing with the idea of hanging it from the ceiling. I think
I like that idea. Yeah.
Really cool doing that.
That would be cool.
Do the spread wings and just have it just flying. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be sick.
And that's a thing too. You walk in a room and you see that thing flying in the corner of a room. That's gonna
put some nice lighting on it.
Yeah.
Be a little exhibition piece in your house.
I think
have one of the claws, one of those like gesturing claws, I think from the accessory pack, like, and holding a dead body, right? Like just have it like holding a body there.
Dude, my neighbors are gonna think I am totally lost my mind. They already do, because I don't have just a room for toys. It's just the whole house. So yeah.
Oh, I wish.
Like in my kitchen and
this video only. That's
Nate.
Yeah, I'm in the garage, which we just turned into a room, but everything's in here with me, so it's pretty awesome.
It's like the inside of your brain. Gives you a chance to create more new cool shit.
All right, let's do the drawing.
Yes.
Give people it's been a little while since we mentioned it, so give people another minute. So again, it's a
this guy,
a Zoloid. Yeah, that guy right there.
nice.
And a Maxilius. So Glyos figure and a Legion's figure. It's
That is
one
such a
giveaway
good
together.
Yeah.
What was that, Nate?
I was just saying Maxilius is such a good figure. That's a great.
Yeah. And it's like 3 figures in one. So it's
just
like you gotta have 3, right? Because you gotta have the bear skeleton, you gotta have the Grim Reaper, and then Maxilius.
Yep.
So Zolmax, get your entries in.
I just love how like part of his like, I guess, patined like skin is still over his eyes. So badass.
Yeah, that skull. I love that skull so much.
Yeah, it's disturbing.
So disturbing.
I
love
display
it.
mine with the hood mostly covering it.
Okay. Yes.
So you really just see kind of a normal mouth, but if you peek
Right.
under there and you see, it's like, oh, what's going on? Yeah.
Yeah.
So bizarre. I love it.
And then like even more disturbing than that is the third eyes on Necronominus, which I pulled all 3. So I opened.
That is crazy.
My first 3 that I opened were the 3 different ones.
That is crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I got the little mini skull.
That's
So
my
did I.
favorite.
did?
That
one
the mini
is
skull is my fave.
amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about it until like a couple days ago. So
Oh,
know,
you
I saw it
didn't?
somewhere, and I was like, "What?" So I ran in there and pulled it off. Yes, I got the
Nice.
Quick story on that. I've known about that since like a long time ago. Like it was me
You
and
did?
yeah, George showed me when I was out there one. It was, I want to say maybe it might have been the year before we revealed him. It might have been the year that we were out there for
21, 22? I don't know.
Yeah, that would be
Either way, I
21.
just remember George going, "Hey, come here," and then he like, like, "No."
That's such a good detail.
Doing that. So yeah.
Yeah. All this talk makes me want to rip open that 2-pack that I'm not allowed to.
I think a lot of people like the eye because it's got
Yeah.
paint apps. You know what I mean? It's like got those extra paint details on there.
If you're into any kind of spiritualism stuff, the third eye and all.
Yeah,
that.
the third eye.
For
Yeah.
sure.
But I see them all as like a third eye, but it's just like, what is
Yeah.
that eye made out of, kind of, you know?
Yep.
Which is, I mean, the whole thing is like beyond disturbing. The fact that like somebody just looked at, like, who was the first one that looked under there and saw that? Like, what the?
I am curious I want to see the interview with Eric because I'm sure he did it. I don't know what his reason is for doing it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a story. Like, is that how he births his children? Like, he's a father of children, right? Like, is that how he's birthing
or at
his
least
kids?
the 3 is representative, the number, perhaps.
But there's more than he has more than 3 kids, right?
I didn't
There's
think so.
Beluelith,
Yeah.
Malleus,
For a long
Okay.
time, it was the 3, but then when the Necronomicon
Baertsch.
came out, the others all of a sudden they're all children of his.
Yeah.
Kind of, so yeah.
It's
Yeah,
so
the
wicked.
Teeth are just generally creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could never be a dentist, I don't think.
All I'm
You
going
know,
to say is take
hygienist.
a look at the packaging, the Necronominus art.
Oh,
Again.
is there okay.
Okay.
Okay. Noted.
Look in the rocks.
Noted.
I'll be right back.
Oh, I did.
In the rocks? Okay.
Look in the rocks.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. I think we're ready to spin this thing. If you win, you can email me at podcast@dorklair.com. You can message me on social media. If you message me right away, I'll get it packed up right now and tonight, and I'll ship it out tomorrow. If not, it'll go out Monday. I'm going to be away this weekend, so I won't be around Saturday to ship. All right, here we go. 3, 2,
Good luck. Good luck.
1. Good luck.
Gonna be.
Needs a little bit of music. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, it's
Jeremy
Jeremy.
Waltman. That's a
Jeremy
new
Waltman.
name.
That's a
Congrats,
new name.
Jeremy.
Congrats.
Congratulations,
Awesome.
Jeremy.
So again, if we're not connected on social, then just email me at podcast@dorklair.com. Look in the description below for that email address. And also look in the description below for links to BioMasters. Look for links. I think I have Nate's Instagram on there. Nate, you had a Prince sale, but it just sold right out, right?
It didn't sell some of them did sell out, yes. Like I don't have any more Erethyr or Poxus or Alithia, but I still have some Necronominus prints. But honestly, I'm probably going to keep them back for future shows. Because there's not a lot. Like there's really not a lot left. So thank you everybody that participated in that. Thank you for that support. It's much appreciated.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Let me pull this down.
McCoy asked what the percentages were. I saw that question kind of flip by. I don't think I'm the wrong person to ask, but I want to say from the hubbub around the office was that it was equal. The 3
Yeah,
parts.
that's my understanding as well. I feel like Jeremy may have mentioned that it's equal.
He probably did. I just remember Chris and George talking about it at one point, and I want to say it was pretty much
Equal parts. Yeah. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a fair chance on it that way, and nobody really knows. Like there's no differentiation on the packaging. I know the packaging, but
right. At first, I immediately went, because it's so cool, the details in it. I was like, oh, it's probably like 1 in 6 or well, more than that just for the eyeball one. But the other ones are just as cool when I
It'll feel
saw
that
the
way
details of pictures.
because I think that'll be the most popular. And I think the demand will just be higher. So that even number will just, there just won't be quite enough to go around. But,
so it's equal.
And I also, so I opened one regular Necronominus and then 3 of my 4 2-packs. I ordered a bunch of 2-packs to like part out and like because the thing about the Necronominus figure is that torso, especially that torso is like I just love that. It's like the same as the Terpiculi, but it just made more sense financially to just buy a bunch of 2-packs because I could sell the horse. True. I could sell that horse a bunch of times, and then I got all these Necronominuses to part out, and I can like sell. It's just a lot more to just like part out and sell, and then keep the torsos and all the parts that I want. So that's why I had, and I'm glad I did because of those heads. Like I'm so glad I did.
Yeah.
And yeah, so my first, I opened the mini skull on my first one, and then I opened the 3 in the boxes. Second one was the eyeball, third one was the teeth, and then the fourth one was another eyeball. So, it's not like I don't think the 2-packs are any, it's all probably different. Just evenly distributed.
All random. Yeah, they're all random.
Random.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had that figure for days and had no clue. I was so excited to see what was under the headdress, because he's got the headdress. So I was like, what is inside there?
Right.
All those wings,
I do want to see someone unglue that. I don't want to do like maybe I have one more that I need to open up. Maybe I'll experiment with it because I do want to see.
Play with.
Like you could take even if the head has a big old slice down the middle to fit all that stuff, like you could just put Maxilius's hood on it, and then like you just have a hooded different different skull there, and then you could have that eyeball peeking out, right? Like if you put the hood just right, like I think there's an opportunity there for a fun little like kit,
Bill's gonna be boiling ahead this weekend.
Okay, figures with the 5 memberships gifted out. Thank you.
That's so awesome. Nice. 5 memberships. Wicked.
And then Curtis with the $5 super chat. There are 3 Legions artists that you need to have works from framed on your wall: Nate Baertsch, Trevor Williams, and Richard.
Definitely, and Richard Jones. Aw.
Richard has come a long ways. He's doing so good.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
He's another one. Like I had no idea he'd like so much evil stuff. I'm like, that's great. You see like a proper British gentleman, and you're just like, oh, I like the demons, or he likes vampires and stuff like that. So yeah.
He's down with the lizard people too.
Is he? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Who's
Benny? I already sent that over to somebody. So that Recon Rage got that eyeball one. Sorry about that. All right.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
10:39.
Thank you guys for coming on.
Yeah, thanks
Good
for
to see
having me.
us.
It was awesome.
Thanks for letting me interlope on Pat's show.
Yeah.
You're so you're the guest host. You're our third host.
Oh, okay.
In these scenarios, Nate.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I know you can't make it every time. So like Stef and I are the hosts, and then you're the guest host who comes on once in a while, and then we have our guest who is Pat this week.
I love it.
Nice.
I know just enough about Glyos to be a little dangerous.
Be a little dangerous as well.
Yeah.
But...
I mean,
I've been
more than enough.
All Glyos is dangerous. Just
again, you see that those blankets, that box is right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Tell me the whole thing.
That's full of Glyos. That's just those aren't the only bins. I have bins in the closet. I have bins under that couch.
Wow.
I have a problem.
I'm starting to get there.
I have a stack of bins higher than I am.
Yes.
Oh my God.
If you have a Glyosalant, you weep for days. Like I literally fall over one day, and I just left it for a week because my mind couldn't process.
It. I mean, considering they're this big too, and to have that many, you know what I mean?
I open the bucket, and it's a big waft of PVC plastic in your face.
Hey,
Yeah, right.
nothing's better than like new toy smell.
No,
Oh, yeah.
nothing.
I get
I'm
those
a big fan.
notifications and open them, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I feel like of all the modern toys, Glyos hits similar to the old Kenner more than anything else. Like that,
Yeah.
there's that in my head. There's that
size.
childhood smell memory of of the Kenner back in the day, the
They
fresh
had a
Kenner.
smell. It's
It
that
did.
PVC.
It was like it was almost leather. I want, you know what?
Yeah.
I want a Yankee Candle
Oh no, I've heard it all.
Kenner plastic
Yes.
candle.
It's a little bit sandalwood and leather. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Mhm.
Like when I first cracked open Yoda as a kid, yeah, there was it was a pleasant plasticky smell.
Definitely.
Yeah. Gotta love that plastic.
yeah, awesome.
Mhm.
And again, head over to biomasters.com.
It's
BioMasters.
biomasters.com.
Okay. And I will be back next week with so I think the following weekend, that same weekend that the Dragon drops is there's an event in Beacon, like a toy pizza event, and Jesse's gonna come on with some of his collaborators for that event.
Very cool.
Clutter, I think is their company, Clutter. I don't know if, and I think they are the ones who run the 5 Points Festival. And so they're going to come on and talk about their event that they're going to have that following weekend. So that'll be next week. It'll be our normal regular week, but I think we're going to still do 9:00 that night just to have that consistent time. And then 2 weeks from then, we'll kind of be back to like the usual DORKLAIR variety toy, news episode.
Very cool.
Awesome.
All
Great.
right, everybody.
Thanks for
Thanks
joining
for-
us, guys.
Yeah, thanks for watching. And
me.
until next time, may the force be with you.
Follow me into the door.